Welcome back, beautiful people. I hope you all are staying nice, safe, and healthy. Let's jump into this video. So this is an old twist out that I'm picking the ends out just to loosen the hair a bit, because one mistake I made in the past is if you don't stretch your hair before attempting to do a puff or anything that pulls at your hair and you have high density hair, it just won't work. If you don't loosen up those curls before you try to puff, you can end up with a tension headache, definitely with traction alopecia, and y'all, it's just not the move, okay? Your edges and your nape definitely take the L. And so I'm just, as you can see, just kind of teasing the ends just to kind of get those knots out. I did spray my hair with water before I started filming. I don't know why I didn't start filming that, but it also helps to loosen up those ends so that as you're teasing those knots out, you're not snapping or breaking your ends. But again, this whole process is just to loosen up those hairs and try to kind of get them so that they are more malleable and pliable, so that when you try to puff, you are not pulling at stale, brittle hair. Oh yeah, it's a lot of work, girl. So I am not a huge fan of this product, but this is what I have. Y'all know I am a diehard for working in sections, so what you're going to see now is I'm going to start parting my hair and sectioning out the parts of my hair that I will be applying the gel to. The part of your hair that gets the gel is a lot more manageable as opposed to just slapping gel on and hoping it's in the right spot. If you add gel to your whole head, first of all, let's just address that that's too much gel, okay? And second of all, it will take so long to dry. So to combat that, I section my hair and I only apply gel to the sections that I need to appear neat and is going to be visible, honestly. Also, you guys can see that I am puffing the back so that it doesn't mess up the sections that I have already created. These sections do not have to be perfect, just section them out and keep it moving. So if you have hair that is kind of difficult to manage, high density, a lot of single strand knots, what have you, I cannot emphasize enough how important sectioning is. By doing so, you actually, as you can see, apply gel to the areas that actually needs it, instead of just slapping gel and so much gel on every on the top layer and hoping that it gets to the bottom layers and does its job. Why is this important? Because the hair underneath doesn't have any gel, and so if you're only applying it to the top layer, trust after however much time it will not stay laid because there's no gel holding the bottom layers of your hair down, if that's making any sense. So a lot of people just oversaturate their hair with gel, but then that makes it take way too long to dry. Like, I don't have time to be sitting around, okay? This is supposed to be a quick gel it up and go, you know what I'm saying? So you have to apply it in layers, guys, and it definitely helps if you section it out. As I've showed you, it doesn't take a significant extra amount of time. It's just, it is what it is. So as you can see here, I am trying to hold down this section now that I have put gel on it. Y'all, do not make the mistake of gelling a section and just letting it run free, because that's exactly what it's going to do. It is going to run free and you're going to be like, didn't I just gel and brush this entire section? You did, sis, but you didn't keep it stationary, and that's kind of half the battle here. So I just use a clip to kind of keep the bottom half of that section in place. And then now that I've done with the top section, you're gonna see me use a scrunchie to really keep that hair taut. Oh yeah, y'all, don't be afraid to slap on the gel. Now, I didn't say you wouldn't be using a lot of gel. I'm just saying that if you section your hair, you won't need as much gel. But yeah, you're still gonna need a lot of gel if you've got a lot of hair. So this is the scrunching part I was telling y'all about. Just go ahead and smooth it one last time. And as you can see, my hair that normally does not react that smooth to gel is behaving so much better. Like, I don't know why I never did this before. Crazy, y'all. Hey guys, one thing I definitely forgot to mention is you do not want your hair to be wet, like damp when you do this. You just want it to be just wet enough to loosen those ends at the beginning, but not so wet that it adds to your dry time. And once I'm done with that, I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now it's time to apply the headband that you're actually going to use to keep your puff in place. It's very important that this headband is not too tight, but also not too loose. You want it to be tight enough so it holds all your kinks, but not so tight that it gives you a headache. Wait a minute, y'all. I forgot the most important step. You have to tie your hair down. Okay, so the reason why it's important to tie your scarf down before is because once you let those two little puffs go, like I said, your hair is just going to give you a run for your money and undo all the hard work you did. By tying it down, you actually can keep that hair in place and keep it smooth. That is the key. You want to keep it smooth. So if you use a silk or satin scarf, it's definitely going to help it keep its shine, and it's definitely going to make it so that you can tie it tight. Okay, so now that you've put the scarf on, now you can untie your little cute little mini puffs and spread them out. So once you start spreading them out, you want to spread them out in the direction that your hair would naturally go if you were to simply brush it up into a puff, into the original puff, if that makes any sense. So I don't even know how to explain it. Just spread it out so that it covers the parts that you made, but it also looks like a natural transition from the front of your hair to the puff. Yeah. And because you already placed the scrunchie right there, you're going to slide that back as well. Because again, that's the scrunchie that's going to hold your hair in place. So how far back you decide to put your puff scrunchie is really up to you. It determined by a couple things. So it's based upon the length of your hair. If your hair is super short, do not try to put it all the way back in the puff, y'all. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Your hair is going to loosen and it's going to mess it up. It's also based upon the shape of your head. So I kind of have a knob, and it's just based upon your preference. Okay, so I am doing something risky. If you are willing to risk it, go ahead and take the scarf off to make sure you distributed your hair properly. Oh girl, yes. But don't play no games, okay? Stop playing games. Check the hair and then put the scarf right back on, because your hair will loosen if you leave the scarf off for too much time. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Keep picking and tugging until you're satisfied with your results. Major key, do not take that scarf off unless you know for sure that the front is dry. You can blow dry it if you want to. I am not that patient. I mean, I guess I'm more patient. I don't know how to word that, but like, I rather just let it dry by itself than hold a blow dryer to it or sit under a dryer. I typically do this style overnight, so then it just dries overnight and I put a scarf or a bonnet over the puff that's exposed. And that just works for me. You can also do this day of. It just depends on what your preference is, how long your hair is, and how much time you got, sis. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you beautiful people next time, and I hope you enjoy the video. Bye.